Lesbian. Lesbians.
Lesbian.
Lesbians.
Lesbians. Lesbian.
Lesbians. Lesbians.
Lesbian.
Lesbians.
Lesbians.
Lesbians. Lesbians.
My mother and the mother of my child both ended up being lesbians. Lesbians! And,
Lesbians.
My guest today has a very interesting take on Jesus and politics. I have with me John Fugelsang.
You nailed it, sir.
Oh, good.
Well done.
We finally have a man who is not afraid. If you attack, he attack back.
He'll even attack first sometimes.
Yeah.
He continues to make money from our tax dollars into his personal account, so I think he's winning.
But he's making America great again. We're all winning.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah. Let me ask, are you a man?
I aspire to be.
Is that a yes or no?
I consider myself a man.
Beta male or alpha male?
How do you define those things?
The beta male goes by what he think or feel rather than what is logical. You're the only child?
I was not.
Oh.
I have two younger brothers.
You say Jesus was anti-death penalty.
Completely, sir.
And why do you say that?
In the book of Genesis, God puts a mark on Cain after he kills his brother to protect him, the first ever murderer, and God gave him a pardon.
Because God forgives.
Right on.
Would you have sex out of wedlock?
Well, I'm in wedlock right now, but if I wanted to and it was consensual.
Do you believe that it's okay to have sex out of wedlock?
It's really interesting that you find that a problem and yet you support Donald Trump.
You're not answering the question.
Would I be okay with people having sex out of wedlock? As
Yeah.
long as no one's being hurt or exploited, it's none of my business.
And so if you are not drunk or high, would you have sex out of wedlock?
If I liked the person and they liked me and it was consensual and no one was being hurt or exploited, then yes,
Are
consenting.
you okay with making babies out of wedlock?
Am I okay with it? I think it's better for a child to grow up in a home with loving parents, but we live in a free society and we haven't legislated that.
Is it right to have babies out of wedlock?
Is it right to have babies out of wedlock?
Yes.
It's not. I don't have any qualification to pass judgment on that, sir.
Do you know right from wrong?
I think we all do, yes.
how
And
about
I
you?
don't get to judge people who have babies out of wedlock.
How about you? You know right from wrong?
I like to think I do, yes.
So is it right to have babies out of wedlock?
It's not right to judge people who do it.
That's not what I'm asking.
I don't
Is
get
it-
to,
I'm not
I'm not
asking,
going to
is
judge
it right
someone.
to judge
I'm not going to
people
judge
doing-
someone who has
I'm
a baby
asking
out of
you your
wedlock.
personal opinion.
If a woman's pregnant and the guy takes off, what should she do, sir? Terminate it or have it? What would you have a woman
I'm
do?
asking your personal opinion. Is it right to make babies
I think
out
you're
of...
looking for respectfully, I think you're looking for a virtuous argument for a mean judgment.
You're my guest and you're so smart. I watch your videos. Is it right to have babies out of wedlock?
It's not right to judge people who do.
I didn't ask about judging people.
Well, I don't get to say that. I don't have the eminence to condemn
Would
people.
you make a baby out of wedlock?
Would I?
Yes.
I'm married. I've made a
If
baby
you
within
were
wedlock.
not married, would you make one out of
If I
wedlock?
wanted to, I would. I live in a free society.
And would you?
If I wanted to, I would.
Would you do it though?
If I wanted to, I would.
And so you said Jesus had long hair, brown skinned,
According to Revelation, he had brown skin.
homeless,
Yes,
Middle Eastern Jew.
indeed.
And where you get that image from?
In the book of Revelation,
It said he was brown skinned.
it says his feet were the color of burned brass. His hair was like wool.
He could have had a good tan. If Jesus walked the earth today, would he be a social justice warrior?
Indeed. Yeah.
And-
I think if Jesus walked the earth today, he would be fighting for the least of us because that's what he did and that was his consistent message.
Do you agree with abortion?
Do I agree with it?
Yeah.
I don't want to incarcerate women who do it.
But you're not answering my question. Are you personally okay with women having abortions?
See, it's a weird question because I don't think I have the right, or anyone with a penis has a right, to tell a woman what to do.
Do you personally disagree with abortion?
I personally disagree with incarcerating women for doing it.
One last time. Do you personally disagree with abortion?
I am not morally qualified to condemn someone who has to make that choice, and I don't think men have the right.
You mentioned men and penis. If you make a baby and this woman you make this baby with decided for whatever reason, I'm not going to have this baby, I'm going to kill it, you don't have any say so about that?
I think a man does have say-so, and a man has a right to sue that woman, and a man has a right to sue for redress of grievances, yeah.
So a man with a penis should say something about it, have an opinion of abortion, right?
Ultimately, it rests with the woman, but a man has a right to try to make her carry the baby to term. I don't think he should, but he has the right.
We would make our own syrup from sugar cane. We would pick the peanuts and put them away. We would preserve, my grandmother would preserve peaches and apples and things like that in the bottle, in the jar. At the end of like in December, we would kill the hogs. And the way that we killed them, you're going to love this. The animal rights people are going to go nuts. We would put the hog in the pen, and then we would take the axe and go out there and hit the hog in the head with the axe and knock him out with the back of the axe. Remember that, Bill? He said no. He grew up in the city, huh? And then when the hog fall out like that, his neck would be up and we would slash his throat. And then he would go, and then he dies. And then he dies. You don't think that's funny?
That gave me a little pain.
Why you get pain from that?
Cause you imagine
Beta!
you imagine that the pig getting knocked out, then you slash his throat, he starts squealing.
And if a fat hog, he would go,
Oh my
because he's throwing up the blood.
You don't see that every day.
We did every year. And then another thing, Joe, you're going to love this. And then we invite the Muslims over for dinner. We had to kill the chicken because we raised chickens, right?
Right.
And my grandmother said, Punchy, go out there and kill one of those chickens for breakfast. All right, Mama. So I would go out to the chicken house, and I'll pick out a nice little hen that we raised for breakfast. And then I would take him and wring her neck.
Wow.
Just wring the neck until it comes off.
That's where you get the savage.
And the chicken would flop around on the ground, and then the chicken would die. And that was the best meal with some homemade biscuits, fried chicken, and grits.
It's just crazy how casual this was. This is like normal thing, huh?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Huh?
I said, that's something else.
Beta! Isn't that amazing? Anyway, that's my life.
I have with me today Dr. Alvaro Huerta, assistant professor at California State Polytechnic University. Thank you so much, sir, for coming in.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Are you a Christian?
No, I'm an atheist.
You're an atheist?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You're the first atheist Hispanic person I've met.
I've come from a big family. There's 8 of us, and every Sunday we would go to church. So I was fine with it. I did the first communion, but by the time I went to UCLA as a freshman, I realized or I learned that there was other options of believing and not believing.
How old were you when you went to UCLA?
17.
So up until 17, you believed in God.
Yes.
And then go to UCLA, you believe there is no God.
Right. My parents are very traditional. They came from the countryside of Mexico, Michoacan, from a small rancho.
So what happened when you went back home and said, hey, Dad, Mom, I don't believe in God. There is no God.
Oh, no, I didn't tell her. No, she wouldn't wash my clothes or make me tacos anymore.
So they never did find out?
No.
Now that you don't believe in God, where do you get your values from?
I've always thought about, how would I like people to treat me? And I would treat them that way. I've always had negative experiences with certain professors. because I was Mexican, they didn't think I can keep up with the rest of the kids.
How do you know that that's what they were
Well, they
thinking?
told me.
They said because you're Mexican, you can't keep up with the rest of the kids?
One way or another, that was the message.
But they never said it to you.
At one point, one said it, yes.
But that doesn't mean all the rest felt that
No,
way.
no, not all of them.
So what did it feel like to be more like a woman than a man?
Well, I think I have both
Oh,
their traits.
but you're more like your mother.
You know, so me growing up in the projects and coming out of there, there's nothing that anybody can say or do that will make me fear or make me be intimidated.
Right.
My father came during the Bracero program. He was a guest worker.
So he didn't come here illegally.
No, he didn't. And then after in the 60s, my mother was a domestic worker. She would go back and forth to clean homes in San Diego and then go back.
Right.
And I was born here in Sacramento.
Are you like an ankle baby?
That's what Republicans would call me, yes. My mother.
That's amazing. I never met an ankle baby before. What's it like being an ankle baby?
Well, my mother was a rational actor, and she said she was pregnant with me in Tijuana. I was conceived there. She decided for me to be born in Sacramento.
Right.
And when we got there, the white kids were throwing rocks at us. It was like Birmingham, Alabama.
Right.
Low
Well, that's
riders.
what normally happens when you impose yourself on others. You know, people have to love you freely. You just can't go and put yourself off on people. They're going to reject you.
I didn't know that existed,
Yeah.
right? Because I was too young and naive.
Do you think it's right that women can come across the border and drop a baby and stay here?
Well, she had a work permit, so for her, it didn't say anything in the work permit she couldn't do that.
No,
So,
I'm asking you though.
yes, I don't have a problem with that.
So you think it's right,
I think it's a rational choice.
but do you think it's right?
Yes, yes.
You think it's right that they can break the law, cross the border, and stay in the United States just by dropping a baby here?
Well, I don't believe the way the laws are set up. I think we can do it differently.
But you do think it's right that these women should be able to do this?
I think when they do it, I think they're being rational beings. They're doing what's right for them and
Well,
what's
I
right for the
understand if I lived in Mexico, I'd try to come here too, by any means necessary. But do you think it's right that they should be able to just walk across the border, drop this baby, and be a citizen? And stay here? Well, not become a citizen, but stay here.
Oh, yes, yes. I don't have
You think that's right?
yes, yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, you think it's right.
I don't even want to call them immigrants. I want to refer to them as human beings.
Why don't you want to call them immigrants?
Because a lot of times when you put labels on people, then it's easy to exploit them. It's easy to take advantage of them. So if you say to somebody, you know, you're a citizen and you're an immigrant,
You just want to call them human beings.
pretty much.
How about human beings who broke the law? So you don't have a problem with me saying illegal aliens?
Well, you could say it, but it's not something that I accept. You know, when I was growing up, I used to watch this program, My Uncle Martian or whatever it's called.
Right.
I forget.
Yeah, I
that
remember
program.
that.
Right, so like an old program. I used to
Yes.
Right, so that's to me that's an alien because he was a Martian, and people that are green and have the little antennas, you know.
It was them who broke the law to come here. So they were aliens from a foreign country, and they broke the law to come to my country. So is it my fault that I have to call them illegal aliens, or is it their fault that they broke the law to get here, creating that title for themselves?
Well, it's the law's fault. I think we should
No, no,
change,
no.
I think we should change the laws to not to demonize immigrants and not to treat them
Well, how are you demonizing them?
well by putting them this label that they're
But if they
illegal.
didn't come across the borders illegally, we wouldn't call them that. If
Well,
they came through the
yeah.
front door, we'd just say immigrants.
Well, the people that came, the ancestors of the people that invaded Mexico and took the Mexican land, I mean, do we call them invaders?
If that's what they did.
You know, do I call their ancestors, you know, the people that...
So it's their fault then that they're called that because they are breaking the law, not the American citizens, right?
Well, the law itself needs to change. I don't accept the law.
I
and
know, but
I think-
whether you want to change the law or not.
No, I understand
I
what you're
just want to
saying.
make it clear whose fault is it? The ones who are breaking the law to come here, or the ones who are calling them illegals because they're doing that? But I still need an answer. Whose fault is it? My fault that I have to call them illegal aliens, or is it their fault?
It's the government's fault.
No. They're the one breaking the law. Mexico don't even allow people to come across their borders.
If it was just a question of choice and people like individual choice, they woke up like I want to,
But
go to
you're
the United
still
States.
running away from my question.
Technically, they are breaking the law.
And are they coming?
Technically, yes, because the,
Right, and
I
are they
wa- I wasn't-
aliens? They're coming from
I wouldn't call
their
them
own
aliens,
land, but they are aliens in that they're coming from another country to another one.
that I cannot concede.
But you do agree that they are breaking the law to come here?
The way the law is written, yes.
All right,
yes.
I appreciate that. You predicted that Hillary Clinton would become the 45th president.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to the election?
I was shocked. I was shocked. First, I thought that Hillary was a flawed candidate
Yeah, lying, crooked Hillary.
because I did believe the polls. You know, I did believe,
But the polls were lying.
and CNN is like, oh, there's not enough white voters in these states to vote for it.
Right, yeah.
But they were like, these white voters were like a lost tribe in Brazil. You know, they just came out of nowhere.
Yes.
I shouldn't have believed them. You know, I shouldn't
Yeah.
have believed the analysis that they were providing.
Yes.
I was disappointed because of his rhetoric and the way he treated women, the way he treated.
How does he treat women?
Well, when he's talking about grabbing their private parts.
Have you ever spoken that way?
Not like that, no.
But you've
No.
said something like that.
Wow.
You look like you've said it. So you know you've said it.
I've never been, physically, I'm not like a locker room guy. You know, I've
But
always
you
been
have
thin on
said
my
that
left.
stuff like that.
Not
right?
like that, no,
But
not
you
like
have said
that.
similar stuff.
I've been in environments where people said it, but I'm not running for
No,
office.
you have
and-
said it too.
Oh, not like that.
Coming
no.
from East LA, you've said it. So you have said it, right?
When I run for office, they're going to use this tape against me. So there goes my nomination for the Supreme Court. So I'm worried about that.
So you have said similar things.
No,
you
not
might
like-
not have
not like
said
that.
the exact words that.
I've been in environment where I grew up. They killed people. They did drugs. I've seen police killed
Right.
my friends.
That's why I know you have said it.
I've seen a lot, but
So he didn't treat women like that. He was talking to another guy, as you have done, and that's what guys do. They're bragging about what they do with women.
oh yeah, no, I didn't say that. Yeah.
No, you didn't say that, but you
I
said
understand what
similar.
you're saying, but
But you have said similar.
no, not like that, not like that.
Not like that, but something. You have said things like that. Not like what he said, but similar. You can be honest.
No, not like that. No. Like within any
Well, you
group.
can tell me later when the show
Yeah,
is
there
over
you
what
go.
you said.
Yeah, it was happy hour.
But why are you saying that he's disrespecting women when you know most, if not all men, do that kind of stuff?
No, I know that.
You're just saying what the liberal feminists
Growing up, I've been in environments where men talk about that.
So he wasn't being disrespectful to women.
He's overall, I think, I wrote an article against Trump, several against Trump. I'm waiting for him to tweet against me. It hasn't happened. So one about him being a hustler. I think he hustled white working class voters. All of the nominees.
Why do you think that?
Because he acted like he was one of them, or he can relate to them.
There were more than just white people who voted for him. You had more black men voted for Trump than you did Hillary Clinton this time around. You had more Hispanics voted for the Republican than before. So it wasn't just white people.
The majority of the voters were working class white.
Right,
the
but still
majority.
there were other.
Yeah, there was other groups. There
Right.
was other
And
groups.
so why are you not mentioning them?
But the point with Trump is that he was very inflammatory. He was very offensive to many groups.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Well, he was offensive to the godless group, the children of the lie. You know, the radical homosexuals, the Black Lives Matter, the feminists who hate men, Planned Parenthood who are killing the unborn child, selling the body parts for profit, the Latinos who hate white folks. He was offensive to them because he told them the truth. He spoke up to them. He dealt with them, and they've never had that before. And so, of course, they get angry because they've been spoiled getting their way for so long.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I don't agree with any of that. But
Why not?
when Trump says that Mexico is sending their worst, they're sending rapists, murderers, to me, he's generalizing, and that's being a racist. That's what he's calling my father, my mother that, and my father's
He didn't call you a father, mother.
and my father's more of a man than Trump. You know, like if he was alive, and I even told Trump in my article, I said, you can talk tough. He doesn't know tough. I mean, how tough was his life? Like, you know, did he ever go to the military? What did he grow up in?
Did you go to the military?
No, I didn't grow up in military.
I rest my case. But let me ask, was he lying when he said that those type of people were coming across the border as well?
In any group, you're gonna have a minority.
Are you saying that's not happening?
That's not happening in the terms, the way he said it, because he
But
said
it is happening.
some, but not all.
So it is happening.
Some, but he said he
He
didn't
did
say
not
some.
say all. He
He
named the type of people
No, he said,
who are.
and some are good.
Right.
And some are good.
Right.
When you say that, that means that the most are bad. So
No, that's what you read.
memorized that.
So let's go back to this.
Actually, I have a
So
tattoo on that thing.
he did tell the truth about that happening.
You could say that to any group, and but the problem is that
You're
when
not answering my question. Was he telling the truth that was happening?
I'll accept that it happens in all groups.
So he was telling the truth?
He should be a lawyer. It's a truth. It's true. I'll accept it in all groups, like in all populations. Like
let's
that.
keep the focus on the people coming across the borders.
The majority.
Was he telling the truth?
No, not
when he said you have this type of person coming, this type of person, and some good ones. Was he telling the truth?
He wasn't telling the truth because he generalized.
But you
He
just
said
agreed that they do have that coming across the borders as
some,
well.
but not all.
So he was telling the
I
truth
think
then.
probably, like, let's say if you have 100 people come over,
No, stay
probably
with
like
me.
one or two.
Stay with me. That was happening, right?
Not the way he phrased it. No.
But it was happening.
What I'm saying is that he generalized.
Was it happening?
Some, not all.
But it was happening.
Yeah, some. Yes.
So it was happening.
Some. Yes.
Yes, it was happening.
Some. Yes.
So he wasn't lying there.
He was like, because he said all.
He
said
didn't say
most.
all. He didn't say all. He didn't say most. Now you're not being honest. He said, "Here's what we have coming across the borders."
There goes my chance to be mayor of LA. That's it. This video is going to be used against me in a court of law.
So he wasn't lying. You called the man a liar. You wouldn't want to be called a liar if you weren't
I'll call him
lying.
a liar, 'cause he
And
can't do
I'm a little
anything.
surprised that it's coming from the background you've come from. I'm
I
a
don't
little
have a problem
surprised.
calling him a liar. I recall
But he
him a
wasn't
liar.
lying. He told the truth about that. You just admitted that.
I admit that in any group, whether they're Mexicans or Americans.
But he
like-
wasn't
like the-
talking about any group. He was talking about the people crossing the border.
Yes, like the criminals that.
Let's move on. We got it clear that you were lying.
Like the criminals that invaded Iraq. I mean, those are the criminals, not the criminals that he's talking about. here.
Let's stay with the point. I'm glad I finally got you to admit the truth. What do you think about the travel ban that President Trump has on those 7 countries?
That's a good question.
What
yes.
Muslims are coming from?
This is part of my problem with Trump. I'm an atheist, and there's no reason why I should be defending Muslims, because I don't believe in any of that. But what I do believe is that I don't think that any group should be singled out that way. It is a Muslim ban.
That's
but during
not
the
true.
campaign, that's
You're
what he
not
said.
telling the truth again. Why are you saying that?
Yeah, he said it in the campaign.
But he didn't call, when he put the ban
Oh, well, no, what he
on
did-
those 7
yes, yes.
countries, he did not call it a Muslim ban.
Right,
Isn't that
right.
true?
He did, on the
Isn't that
in
true?
the language, he did not call it that. But
So
that's
then
what
why
it
are
is.
you saying that he did?
Because that's
not what he said. He did, though.
he said during the campaign he's gonna put a ban on.
But when
Muslims.
he
said
put
that.
the ban, he did not call it a Muslim ban.
Well, he did it. Yeah.
But you
You're right.
said he did.
During the campaign.
No. That's not, you added that since I proved you wrong. So are you okay with the ban?
No.
He did not. So you want terrorists to come in and kill you?
If he's concerned with terrorists, the terrorists that attacked 9/11, how come he didn't put Saudi Arabia?
So had he put Saudi Arabia in there, you would have been satisfied with
No, I
it?
wouldn't be satisfied.
So you still wouldn't be happy. So why are you asking that question?
The people that came,
Because
the
we
cause
had a
9/11 came
9/11.
from Saudi Arabia. They didn't come from.
But-
they didn't come from Iraq. They didn't come from Syria. They didn't come from these countries that are Yemen.
Why are
that were
you
banned.
bringing up, you said you would not have been happy had he added Saudi Arabia.
No, I wouldn't
to
be
it, so
happy
why-
at all because I think that.
Is
he's
it
targeting-
wrong to protect your home first?
No. There's nothing wrong
So
with
what
that.
is he doing wrong? He's protecting his home. What's wrong with protecting your home where you know where your enemy is?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I
So
think
he didn't do anything wrong then?
Like he didn't ban Texas, and we had somebody who did a terrorist act.
Listen to me.
A president who did a terrorist act against Iraq.
He's protecting his homeland first.
Kissinger was
So he didn't do
is a
anything
war
wrong.
criminal. I didn't see him put Kissinger on the ban.
Where's Kissinger now?
Well, the United States.
Where's Kissinger?
Kissinger, Henry Kissinger.
Right. Is he still in government?
Well, he's a private citizen. He should be.
But he's not in government, right?
But he should be in jail.
He's not in government, right?
No, he's not in
I
government.
rest my case. Let's talk about what's happening. So you agree with me that he didn't do anything wrong by putting the ban on the 7 states?
No. There's no. I agree. I can agree with you Your Honor, because you're like a good lawyer, that like a minority of people are doing bad things.
Let me ask, is there anything about the president that you admire?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
You hate manhood?
I hate bullies.
Do you hate manhood?
No.
Are you a real man?
Yes.
And what is a real man?
A real man is somebody that treats people with decency and respect. A real man is not somebody that mocks the disabled. Is not somebody that calls people losers or.
But you're marking Trump and his family. So it sounds like you're not a real man.
I'm mocking.
You're doing what you said a
I'm
real man
mocking-
doesn't do, and
I'm
that's what
mocking-
you've been doing.
I'm mocking the fact that they're taking advantage of our country.
So
They're
you're
using-
not. So you're not a real man.
I survived the project, so if anybody wants to test me, then they can come after me. So.
Does racism exist?
Oh yes.
Racism exists.
Yes.
And where's your proof?
Well, as racist as the policies, you had Michelle Alexander, the new Jim Crow. You had her an interview recently.
Yeah. What a dummy, huh?
Well, no.
That lady is so dumb.
No,
I don't know.
she's a really
gotta
smart woman.
admit.
She's a really smart woman.
No,
I like her.
You gotta admit she's dumb, right?
Well, people are not trained in certain disciplines. Like the way you interview, you're trained. You and Tavis and people like that. Over the years, you become really good at it.
But she's a liar. And see, the thing about me, I love what's right. It's not like I've been trained to interview. It's just that I love the truth more than anything else. I love my country. I'm not an African American. I'm an American. So I deal with reality. I deal with the truth. Where that woman and most professors nowadays, they deal in lies. And so when you have a conversation with them and you're putting the truth out there, they feel trapped because they are incapable of telling the truth.
Wow, have you read her book?
Yes. That's why I had her on the show. She's a lie. She made up stuff. She's insane. She's talking about the past. She's a nutcase.
Well, I don't agree with that.
But you loved that interview and you agreed with me because when you were watching that interview, you were going, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, no, I didn't say that.
So let me
No,
ask.
I didn't say that.
My final question. Did you have fun?
You have a very good way of asking questions. Where's the tequila? You cornered me too much.
I have with me Patrice Marie Cullors. She is an artist, organizer, and freedom fighter. Patrice, welcome to the show and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, how did you get involved with Black Lives Matter?
After the George Zimmerman acquittal last year, we created the hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Uh-huh. That's amazing. And you're located here in LA, right?
Yep, Los Angeles, California.
Explain to us some of the demands of Black Lives Matter.
One of our biggest demands that we're going to be really working on is calling on local city councils and county governments to look at how they're allocating funding.
So you're using this occasion to get more government finance or programs into the black community?
Exactly.
Isn't that's one of the primary reasons that black people are, not all but most, are so morally bankrupt is because government has been taking care of them for the last 50 or 60 years or so? Government is hurting them rather than helping them.
By the lack of government services.
No, not the lack of. Too much government support has devalued black Americans.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think there hasn't been enough support. I think especially for me, growing up in Los Angeles, I grew up in poverty and watched my mother work 3+ jobs, barely was able to see her. And I think that the government hasn't actually done enough for black people.
Amazing. Were you born out of wedlock?
No, I was not.
Did your father work?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he worked for GM Van Nuys.
And your mother worked as well?
She sure did.
Well, why were you poor?
I have no idea. I think because we live in a capitalist system that some people have a lot of wealth and some people don't.
You don't support capitalism?
I think the current system that we live under doesn't allow for all families to live a life of dignity.
Do you support capitalism?
I support systems that support communities, and in this current government, it's not about capitalism or not. I think it's more about who's taken care of and who's not taken care of.
Do you support capitalism?
I'm not understanding your question.
Do you support capitalism or not? He hung up. James, get her back. See if she'll come back. Call her again. James is feeling sorry for her. She thought you got smart.
Lesbian.
He cried tears of joy for his mother when she came out as a lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian.
Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian.
You are a lesbian.
Lesbian.
Don't you like that word? Lesbian.
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 Don't you like that word? Lesbian.
Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian. Lesbian.
What an incredible time to be alive.
Man.
We have some major talent around the world who are working with us today, so I appreciate that to the utmost. Lock your door. Lock your door, come up with those designs. And then we have the Savage Moments, oh my God, by Get a Job. I just watched a new one he just put out yesterday. So check out Trevor Wesley. Talent to go. Talent, as Rush Limbaugh would say, on loan from God. Are you black?
No.
Are you white?
No.
What are you?
I am an Indian.
An Indian?
Yes.
So are you the Indian from India or the Indian that was here and the white man came and they were smoking pot and didn't see the white man coming? That's not logical.